Hello, I'm Mayor Frank Jackson. On behalf of the City of Cleveland, I want to congratulate the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists on its 90th anniversary. The association was founded in 1931 by Agatha Hodgins, who was a pioneer in her field and worked in Lakeside Hospital in Cleveland. Today, the association has grown to be the largest organization representing the CRNAs. CRNAs have become highly sought after during the COVID-19 pandemic due to their advanced expertise. I want to thank the CRNAs for the life-sustaining work that they do on the front line of healthcare and for the sacrifices that they've made in caring for their patients. Again, thank you and congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kelly Dieter. I'm the current president for the Ohio State Association of Nurse Anesthetists. Our association represents Ohio's 2,400 certified registered nurse anesthetists and students. We are an integral part of the national professional community of CRNAs and a proud member of the profession that has been providing anesthesia and pain management services for more than 150 years. Today, we gather to celebrate the anniversary of our national organization, the American Association of Nurse Anesthesiology, which represents over 57,000 CRNAs across the country. The AANA is dedicated to furthering the science of nurse anesthesiology. CRNAs are advanced practice registered nurses who administer more than 50 million anesthetics to patients each year across the United States. We are among the nation's most trusted professions. With our extensive experience in critical care and expertise in airway and ventilation management, CRNAs are the most highly valuable and sought-after healthcare providers, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. We are gathered here to celebrate the accomplishments of this profession and to commemorate the special anniversary of our national organization. 90 years ago to this day, Agatha Hodgins, a nurse anesthetist from Lakeside Hospital, founded the AANA, and Cleveland serves as its birthplace. In a few moments, you will hear from my esteemed colleagues and guests about our history and the important role that Lakeside, formerly Lakeside Hospital, now a part of University Hospital's healthcare system, played in the formation of our organization and in the science of nurse anesthesiology. I am honored to be here today celebrating the accomplishments of Agatha Hodgins as a pioneer in this field, especially at this iconic location, which served as the setting for the beginning of the organization that I am now so very proud to serve as president of the Ohio affiliate. At this time, I invite Dr. Mcgearion, Chief Executive Officer of University Hospitals Forward, to say a few words. University Hospitals is a comprehensive health system of 23 hospitals, 50 health centers, and outpatient facilities located across 16 counties in Ohio. Dr. Mcgearion became CEO this past February, and it is my pleasure to welcome him to our celebration.
Great job. This is a big deal. Thank you very much for including me in today's event. It's an honor for me to pay homage to a profession and its members who play such a vital role in the care of our patients, especially myself, who's been a surgeon and started back in 1984 in my training and felt the most comfortable. I don't know if Mark is here, our head of anesthesia, would feel really comfortable when I'm working with a CRNA. So I've really grown to respect tremendously over literally, can't do the math, but well over 35 years of being a surgeon and working closely with you. But during the pandemic, make no mistake, our nurse anesthetists and highly trained professionals who work with them became the most valuable members of our team because the expertise they have in the airway. And as an ENT surgeon, I know how important that is. In fact, our UH roots trace back to Lakeside Hospital, where this is where we're standing today, but where it all began. And in 1908, nurse Agatha Hodgins, together with Dr. George Cryle, the head of surgery at the time, perfected the first use of nitrous oxide oxygen mixture, which is better than chloroform and ether in terms of safety. And many of you are probably aware Ms. Hodgins is the principal founder of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists, where 90 years ago today, this was organized as a society of very important professionals. Nitrous oxide anesthesia was found by her to become superior to ether and chloroform, the two most common methods of sedation at the time, which caused significant complications if not done correctly. She really developed the proper mixture and tincture of this treatment, which really became beneficial, especially during World War I. As a result of the work and the team of innovators, Lakeside, this hospital here, became one of the first hospitals, in fact, the first hospital, to manufacture its own nitric oxide. In 1910, piping it directly into operating rooms. Ms. Hodgkins went on to play a key role in developing many of the techniques and procedures and appliances which were used at the time. In 1915, and I love this story, this is a great one. In 1915, Ms. Hodgkins organized the Lakeside School of Anesthesia, which became the first formal training program for anesthesia in the nation. And of its first class were not only nurses, but also physicians and dentists. Really, it was born here. And what happened later was that she created the Alumni Association of the Lakeside Nurse Anesthetist Program, which then in 1923 was renamed as the National Organization of Nurse Anesthetists and now became the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists. So that your society was born here. I'm so proud that I could welcome you back. She had earned such a stellar reputation for her skills that many traveled from all over the world here to meet with her personally to learn her techniques. We are so proud of such a great legacy in which our predecessors pioneered with regards to this very important profession. So congratulations to AANA on its 90th anniversary, and congratulations to the more than 150 nurse anesthetists who are part of our UH team and our colleagues at Case Nursing School. We appreciate your contributions every single day in keeping our patients, my patients, safe, pain-free, and healthy. And so now I'd like to turn it back over to Kelly Dieter.
Thank you, Dr. Mcgearion. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Ohio Senator Sandra Williams, representing Ohio Senate District 21. Senator Williams is a native of Cleveland and has spent more than 3 decades in public service. She has also served our country as a member of the U.S. Army Reserve. Please welcome Senator Sandra Williams.
Thank you so much for having me. It is my honor to be here today, to be with you all on your 90th anniversary. It feels so good to have university hospitals in my district, an organization that is loved by people all over the world for the good work that you all do. And as I always tell people, university hospitals has a special place in my heart because 20 years ago, they saved my niece Ashley when she was in the hospital for RSV. So whatever you all need from me, and the nurses who did a great job, and the CRNAs, you guys are wonderful. You guys save lives, help save lives, and I just appreciate you. So on behalf of the Ohio Senate, we would like to congratulate you on the Ohio State Association of Nurse I cannot say this word, Anesthetics, on your observation of the 90th anniversary of the American CRNA. As the CRNA commemorates this impressive milestone, it has the unique opportunity to reflect on the successes of the past, for it has obtained a remarkable record of advocacy for certified CRNAs and individuals pursuing a career in the field. Indeed, the organization's accomplishments are justifiable and a source of pride and an outstanding reflection not only on the group itself, but also on its hardworking members and on our state as a whole. Since its inception, the CRNA has enhanced the quality of life in our society. It is a generous contribution have earned the gratitude and respect of many. We are certain that as with this worthy association maintains its unfaltering dedication to service, it will continue with its tradition of excellence. Thus, it's with genuine satisfaction that we commend the CRNA on its celebration of your 90th anniversary. And this is signed by President Matt Huffman. This is signed by Senator Coonsey and myself, Senator Sandra Williams. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoy this celebration.
Thank you, Senator Williams. On behalf of nurse anesthetists across Ohio, we are deeply grateful for the Senate's resolution and for your past and continued support of CRNAs when making public policy. Next, I'd like to welcome my colleague Jeff Moulter, CRNA, past president of the Ohio State Association of Nurse Anesthetists, current member of the AANA Board of Directors. An Ohio native, Jeff is a graduate of Case Western Reserve University School of Nurse Anesthesia. He is co-owner of Black Buddy Pro and president and co-owner of Western Reserve Anesthesia Associates. Jeff.
Thank you, Co. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. The American Association of Nurse Anesthetists was founded on this day 90 years ago, right here at Lakeside Hospital. Although it started out with a different name, the vision of the association has never deviated in its 9 decades of existence. I can't begin to tell you how proud I am to be here today. I was born just 10 miles east of here in Euclid, Ohio. When I was in high school, my grandmother encouraged me to become a CRNA, a certified registered nurse anesthetist. I learned that CRNAs were, and still are, advanced practice nurses that deliver anesthesia care in all different types of practice environments. They provide anesthesia care to people of all different ages and for any type of procedure needing their skill and expertise. CRNAs were and continue to be the primary anesthesia providers in rural America and in the United States military. I was very inspired by the profession, so I pursued the path to become a CRNA. Part of my requisite training was to work in an intensive care unit as a registered nurse. I worked here at University Hospitals on Lerner Tower 3 in the cardiac intensive care unit for several years just prior to getting admission into the nurse anesthesiology graduate program at Case Western Reserve University. Despite working here for several years, I literally had no idea that Lakeside Hospital was the center stone of the nurse anesthesiology profession. It was here at Lakeside Hospital in 1931 where a group of 40 nurse anesthetists from 12 different states created the National Association of Nurse Anesthetists. This was the first national anesthesia organization, and it was created by alumni of the Lakeside School of Anesthesia, the visionary being nurse anesthetist Agatha Colburn Hodgins. From the original Articles of Incorporation of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists, quote, "The purpose of the AANA is to advance the science and art of anesthesiology," end quote. Remember, this is 1931, 10 years before penicillin became commercially available for use. Other important goals of the association included, number 1, to develop educational standards and techniques in the administration of anesthetics. Number 2, to facilitate efficient cooperation between nurse anesthetists and other agencies concerned with anesthesiology, such as hospitals and physicians. Number 3, to publish periodicals and bulletins to aid in the purpose of the organization. Number 4, to maintain a central bureau for information, reference, and assistance in matters pertaining to anesthesiology and to promulgate educational programs for the proper administration of anesthetics. Fast forward to today. The American Association of Nurse Anesthetists has grown to a membership of over 57,000 CRNAs and over 7,500 resident nurse anesthetist students. Through the AANA, all 50 states now have a professional nurse anesthesiology association. The AANA also created the International Federation of Nurse Anesthetists, the Council on Accreditation for Nurse Anesthesiology Programs, and also the National Board of Certification and Recertification for Nurse Anesthetists. It is with great pride that the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists celebrates its 90th anniversary with all of you here today. We look forward to seeing you all in 10 short years for our centennial celebration. Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sonia Moore, CRNA, and Director of Case Western Reserve's Nurse Anesthesia Program, Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing. Sonia is the founding director of the Leadership Excel and Achievement Program. She is a native of Ohio, a graduate of Shaw High School and the University of Akron's Anesthesia Program. She is a former member of the AANA Board of Directors and is the co-chair of the Marion K. Shaughnessy Leadership Academy Doctorate of Nursing Practice Founders Circle. Sonia?
Thank you, Kelly. It is an honor to be here this afternoon. It is amazing to be standing on the grounds
of where the American Association of Nurse Anesthesiology was started, a stone's throw away from my childhood home in East Cleveland. An organization that has been pioneer and innovator in the global arena of anesthesiology has not only been a pioneer in the association space. Agatha Hodgins was one of the pioneers of nurse anesthesiology education, which was formalized here at Lakeside Hospital 16 years before creating the association. In 1915, Agatha Hodgins formally established the Lakeside School of Anesthesia, which educated nurses, physicians, dentists, and anesthesiology. After many years of absence of nurse anesthesiology education, Dr. Joyce Fitzpatrick, Dean of Nursing at the Case Western Reserve University Francis Payne Bolton School of Nursing, and Dr. Jack Kless, founding program director of the Nurse Anesthesia Program, collaborated with Dr. Howard Neerman, nurse anesthetists John Craker and Joanne Eisenberg to bring nurse anesthesiology education back to Lakeside Hospital as the now University Hospitals of Cleveland Medical Center in 2001. I am honored and privileged to be the second program director and continue the legacy of collaboration with my esteemed colleagues here at the University Hospitals of Cleveland. Nurse anesthesia education has evolved just as the architect of the Nurse Anesthesiology Association intended. The Lakeside program consisted of anatomy and physiology, pharmacology, and administration of a few common anesthetic agents such as barbital, chloroform, nitrous oxide, and a short list of other anesthetics. The education has progressed, including the aforementioned sciences and the full scope of anesthesia services provided today. There are currently 124 programs, and 102 of those are entered into practice at the doctorate level, along with advanced fellowships in pain management and pediatrics. To gain access to a program, one must be a licensed baccalaureate-prepared registered nurse with 1 or more years of critical care experience. As we move from one of the most devastating times in our country's history, CRNAs stepped up and practiced to the full scope of their education, leaving the comfort of the operating room to leading ICU and ER teams. They created mobile ICUs and found ways to creatively use current equipment to their manufacturer's limits to save lives. The upwards of 60,000 CRNAs demonstrated what our association founders knew 90 years ago, that CRNAs have the knowledge, resiliency, and determination to explore the boundaries of education, to be a premier provider of safe, cost-effective anesthesia care that our communities so much deserve. Congratulations to all AANA members on our 90th anniversary, and I am proud to be among you. It is my pleasure at this time to invite John Craker to say a few words. John currently serves as the Chief CRNA for the University Hospital Medical Center's Department of Anesthesia and Perioperative Medicine. John holds a Doctorate of Nursing Practice from Gannon University, a Master of Science in Nurse Anesthesia from the University of Akron, and a Master's of Business Administration from the Cleveland State University. Joining John will be Darmella Thornton. Darmella is a student of the Case Western Reserve University Francis Payne Bolton Nurse Anesthesia Program, and she is currently the president of the Ohio State Nurse Anesthetists Association Student Board.
Good afternoon. I am humbled and I'm actually honored for the opportunity to participate with my peers and my colleagues in this ceremony to commemorate the 90th anniversary of the American Association of Nurse Anesthesiology, as well as to celebrate the achievements and legacy of this prestigious organization's founder, Miss Agatha Hodgins. Agatha was the first chief anesthetist of Lakeside Hospital, and also the founder and director of the Lakeside School of Anesthesia, which was, in fact, the first of its kind in the country. Agatha was a woman who clearly understood her mission. And as I reflect back on her extraordinary accomplishments, it is clear that her mission contained all the attributes of our current mission statement: to heal, to teach, and to discover. Her collaborative development of the nitrous oxygen technique, along with Dr. Cryle and Dr. Teeter, made medical history and improved the outcomes for the patients she cared for. Agatha continued to work on several more improvements considered as best practice modalities at the time, and then would train her colleagues in these novel procedures. Agatha dedicated her professional career to perfect the educational programs for physicians and student nurse anesthetists that expanded the practice of anesthesia here and abroad. I am forever grateful for Agatha's vision and her perseverance to see her vision come to fruition. This has provided me and my fellow colleagues CRNAs the opportunity to practice as a CRNA and to become an active member of the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists. It was interesting that the original school of anesthesia was a 6-month program with a tuition cost of $50. Through the careful oversight and direction of the AANA board members and our colleagues, this has grown immensely to where we are today in a doctoral level programs. To honor her commitment to education and validate that her legacy remains alive and well within these hallowed halls, please join me in welcoming one of our own shining stars, student registered nurse anesthetist, Darmela Thornton.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to be here, slightly nervous. Just a little history about me. I received my undergraduate nursing degree from the Ohio State University, and after graduating, I returned back to Cleveland, my hometown, and started my nursing career here at University Hospitals. So it is a great honor that I'm actually here doing my nurse anesthesia training as well. So both Francis K. Moulter and UH have facilitated great strides here in my field of nursing, particularly nurse anesthesia. From the onset of training, both in the classroom and in the clinical setting, I have been fortunate enough to interact with genuine, kind, intelligent, certified registered nurse anesthesiologists willing to impart their knowledge upon me. They are dedicated to teaching us SRNAs the art and science of anesthesia, encouraging us to practice to the best of our ability and beyond. Being a UH student has afforded me the opportunity to train in a variety of settings, ranging from anesthesia team approach models to independent practice models. The clinical experience provided here is invaluable, ranging from obstetrics to pediatrics and to open hearts and thoracic with everything in between. As my time in this program winds down, I have become increasingly excited to obtain my goal of joining the prestigious profession of nurse anesthesia. The training I have received at Francis K. Moulter School of Nursing and University Hospitals has been excellent. However, if I can make one change, as John mentioned, if we could get a little bit closer to that $50 tuition for 6 months of training, that would be amazing. But times have changed, and so has education, and I am definitely proud to be a part of University Hospitals and Francis K. Moulter School of Nursing.
Thank you, Dr. Moore, Dr. Craker, and soon-to-be Dr. Thornton. This concludes our commemorative program for today. Thank you again, Senator Williams, Dr. Mcgearion, and my colleagues for your reflections today. On behalf of the Ohio State Association of Nurse Anesthetists, happy 90th anniversary to the AANA. Let us continue to recognize the dedication of healthcare providers across Ohio and the United States for the sacrifices they make to serve patients and communities worldwide. Thank you again.